Greetings, dear friends. Here we are, starting a new week. I hope you had a really lovely, restful weekend. It's still beautiful weather, and I'm wondering, have you felt the effects of Mercury retrograde? Mercury went direct yesterday, so I wonder, how are you feeling? Usually at the end of a Mercury retrograde, things start to settle down, and then you start to get an oomph, like a motivation force to get things done. Maybe things felt like they were getting undone. Oftentimes with Mercury, there's communication issues. And so I'm happy to say we're out of that. Of course, there's a wee bit of a post shadow of Mercury retrograde, so there still may be little bits of pieces. Hey, Andrea's here. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you here. So just talking about what are we going to focus on letting go as we step into this new energy of having Mercury going direct. So hopefully our communications clean up, our energies. Although having said that, I was just about to say our energy's back on track, but there's still another, I think there's 6 planets still in retrograde. Retrograde gives us a chance to take things at a good pace. So certain things will come up. Like I was just saying about Mercury is a lot to do with communications, but then Mars is in retrograde also, and so that's to do with action. So even though Mercury kind of lets us go, letting go, then we still have to check in. Are we on track? This is a good time to question, are you in alignment with your true core self? And of course, this live is our weekly check-in because we're using my letting go cards. And my big thing is to help us look at what layers do we need to let go of in order to get more completely aligned with who we truly are as a core. And I actually do reflect on what's happening with the planets because, truth be told, we're planetary beings too. So planetary bodies. And so that's why it affects us. Anyways, as I'm chatting to you and just kind of focusing in on the energy of this week, I've been shuffling my cards. So just take a nice deep breath with me and focus on what can we let go of in order to more fully align with who we are at the core. How can we shine our light more fully? And then let's see what's going to come up this week. So it's going to be anger or resentment. And I was just saying about Mars, that's actually a good piece to be looking at, because sometimes like Mars energy can be quite action oriented. It's a masculine energy, and so that can sometimes bring some kind of anger or resentment or being irritated about certain things. So let's just see, how does that sit for you? See if that comes. The other thing about anger, I find anger is actually a very good emotion, just so long as we learn to use it to fire us into action, to actually come through it, not hold on to it. There's lots of quotes that talk about anger is okay, just so long as you don't hold on to it. It's like holding on to a hot coal. So let's see how that comes up this week. Just notice. The first thing is to be aware of it and just notice it and see, is there a message there? But then how can you get into action? How can you use that fire in your belly to take action, to do something different, to get on track with what you really want? And so now this is the guidebook that I developed with this system. So now I'm going to read out. So this is what I do. I draw the card and I kind of see, hey, Mary's here too. Hi, sweetie. Thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. So we're working on letting go of anger or resentment this week. And so lots of different ways that we can look at that. And I want you to sort of feel into, how does that sit for you? I feel how it sits for me. And then I'm going to share with you what I've written here to just see if there's anything else that comes up. And then once I've done that, I'm going to tell you a few things about how we could let that go. So you're being guided to release all anger and resentment. Anger eats at you from the inside. You can learn how to make peace with those who have wronged you. This is not about condoning bad behaviors or actions. It's about alleviating the pain that builds within you. Keep in mind that those who anger you control you. The purpose of releasing resentment is to increase your energy and to feel better. Select a target, a critical parent, a controlling partner, a cutthroat colleague. Perhaps you tried to discuss the grievance with no results. In brackets, always try to work things out if the person is at all receptive. Or your target may be truly unapproachable. In either case, away from the person, air your resentments without censoring them. Do this in a journal or with a therapist or a friend. Truth is that honestly and fully expressing your feelings is necessary to forgive. In a quiet moment, then, really reach to find compassion for the person's shortcomings. It's not the event or deed itself. It might be a wee bit difficult, might be hard work. What insecurities or fears motivated that person? Why is this person's heart so closed? What caused his or her moral blindness? Try to discern the context of the person's actions. At this point, you may be inwardly able to ask yourself to start to forgive. Perhaps you're not there yet, and that's okay. The request itself sets off a stream of compassion, a cleansing of your system. Repeat the exercise once a day for at least a week and see if your energy improves. You will most likely feel a burden lift. So this is a big week. And so like I was saying about the retrograde, this is wonderful timing for this to come out. And so in my description there is talking about how to release resentment or anger is a good way to uncensored is key, So the other part is to use journaling or use EFT tapping, emotion freedom technique tapping. And please let me know if you want to have any more direction on how to do that. I have a little video that I'd be happy to make available to you to actually use that, because EFT tapping is one of the best ways to allow you to feel an emotion like anger or resentment and then let it go. And so back to this thing about I'm saying uncensored, because oftentimes we censor ourselves. Like if we're tapping and we think we want to curse and swear or complain and get into the negativity or the complaining energy, that's why I'm saying do it with tapping and uncensor it, because that's going to really cleanse. So you got a big assignment this week. So keep me posted. How does this land? How is it working for you? And then to finish off, I like to finish off, I take my angel cards here because I love this deck of cards, because it, even when like dealing with anger and resentment and things that upset you or piss you off, is kind of a heavy duty assignment for this week. And it may not just be this week that you need to focus on that. And so these cards give us some loving little tips or maybe ideas that we hadn't previously thought of about how to really let go of some of that anger or resentment. And I was saying to you too, use anger to take action, do something different. Sometimes we get angry because we've actually given our power away to something else or said yes to something that we should have really said no to. So, as always, if you've been watching these, you know that I love how these cards come up. So the first one is study. Study. So we're going to study your patterns, study how you think, like what's the dialogue that's going on. Learn EFT, be at peace with your emotions and let them go. So study. And then divine timing. So I just said to you that I loved how the card anger or resentment came up, because it's going to really be powerful this time with all the retrograde planets. So watch how timing happens. Everything happens at the exact right time. So that's a really good, powerful piece of letting go too, because it's a really great way to stop being irritated or impatient or angry about things not going the right way or the way you want them to. Just let go. Take a deep cleansing breath and allow things to unfold in divine right way. And that then gives you truth and integrity, because we can make up stories when we want something to go a specific way and we start getting really irritated because it's not working out. Maybe that's time to just take a pause and see, maybe there's another opportunity right around the corner that you hadn't thought about. So always staying in the present moment. I'm all about the mindfulness and staying in the moment, allowing yourself to feel the emotions as they come up and know, thanks, Mary, allowing them to come up and know that they will pass. By using mindfulness, you can use your emotions to, steer yourself through life, as opposed to getting stuck and trying to get into a story of, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this, or something's wrong. Nothing's ever wrong. I know, the perfect angel sequence, isn't it perfect to go with what we've just talked about? So study what makes you upset. Trust that everything's happening in the divine right order. And that really, so remember at the beginning of my conversation today with you is the aligning with your true core. This is really going to help you align with your true core. So I'm super excited about what the energy is that just come out. I really look forward to hearing how the ripple effect of this lands with you this week. So thank you so much for showing up. It's been my pleasure. And in the comments below, I'd love to hear how this goes. Keep checking back in throughout the week. Much love to you. Have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Bye.